what in the world is going on? Why are we here? And so I will jump right in. Shortly before Christmas break, Coach Pratt came into my office and we met, and he informed me that this year was going to be his last year of coaching our women's tennis team. And so with his schedule, with all that he's been doing with a full-time job there in student development and learning, with his family, he thought it was the right thing to do. And so I guess before I go any farther, I just want to say thank you, Bobby, publicly in front of them for all of your work, not just with these ladies in the program, but with the facility, with the Jones Tennis Complex. You put in so much time with that behind the scenes, and just all that you do for athletics and for this university. And we're grateful and excited that you're not going anywhere. And so we still get to have you here and take advantage of your gifts and talents. So thank you very much, Bobby. So we began to think, what are we going to do? Where do we go from here as an athletic department as well as an institution? And so the wheels began to spin. And with that new facility out there, how could we best utilize that and take advantage of it? And over the last several years, we have been moving our coaches to full-time status. Tennis was one of the few sports left that we didn't have a full-time coach. Obviously, Coach Darling has been teaching, a full-time faculty member for a number of years and has been coaching, but that's not the norm any longer. And so as we looked to utilize that facility, not just for coaching, but also for camps and clinics and USTA events. I mean, that is one of these state-of-the-art facilities, and we wanted to maximize that. The thought was, can we create a full-time position? Could we create a full-time director of men's and women's tennis that would be able to pour in to the program, be able to pour into the women's tennis program and the men's tennis program all under one umbrella, and have the time and the flexibility and expertise to do the things in the summer that we would like to be able to do. And so we put a proposal together, the athletic department, that went to Doug Wilcoxon, who I report to our executive vice president, and then on to President Ellis. And I just can't tell you how blessed we are to have such great administration and how supportive they are of athletics and just the entire university. And so we were approved to pursue a full-time director of men's and women's tennis that would oversee both programs, that would be responsible for recruiting. We will increase our roster numbers in both programs, which is the norm with all of our sports as we're growing. I mean, that's what's happening right now. And so it was an opportunity by increasing those numbers that it would help us to be able to justify that position occurring. And so we got the approval with that and began doing some brainstorming. And isn't God good? God is so good, and His timing and His plan sometimes is far beyond what we can even imagine. And we are really blessed. Some things have come together rather quickly. And so we're really here today, not only to celebrate what Bobby has done, but we're here to announce our new director of men's and women's tennis. Officially begins June 1, but actually that will, this individual is going to hit the ground today, if in fact he hasn't already. And so I'm going to introduce to you right now our first ever director of men's and women's tennis, our very own. If you'd please come in, David Darling. Before I sit down and turn it over, so after I talked with Bobby and he informed me, I called Coach Darling and said, can I stop by and see you? And so I drove over to his house, and he and his wife Mary were sitting there. I sat down and began to lay out the vision that we had for the tennis program. And I said, you think there's any way in the world that David might be interested in coming back? And of course, well, I don't know. And we talked for about an hour, and we were dreaming together, weren't we? It was just kind of fun. We were talking about, boy, if this thing came together, and I don't know, he's down teaching tennis full-time in Atlanta, at a tennis mecca, I mean, doing his thing. Could we lure him back to Spring Arbor? And before I left that night, I got David's cell number. And on my way home from Coach's house, I called David and just said, hey, this is what's going on. This is our vision that we have. Is there any way you would at least consider it? And he thought about it for a minute. He goes, let me talk with my wife. Let me talk with Jenna, and I'll let you know. And that just began the whole process of courting David and Jenna, because she's every bit as important. We know the spouse of every coach is more important, every bit as important as the head coach. And so things came together, and we are just thrilled to be moving forward at this time and place, really with uncharted waters, what's never happened. What's going to happen with our tennis programs. I'm so thrilled for you guys. I'm so thrilled for you ladies. And yes, it is true. So Coach Darling will be reporting to his son. That is on record. We've got that on film. And so he's got to take orders from his son. We'll see how that works. I don't want to get in the middle of that. Neither do you. David, welcome. Welcome to the family. We're thrilled to have you.
I'm really excited. I mean, this is a pretty cool opportunity. It was when Ryan contacted me, I remember sitting down on my kitchen floor, kind of in absolute shock, because I didn't really know if there was a position that would bring me away from the thing that I'm doing right now, which is teaching down in Atlanta. But then again, this position didn't exist until he had talked to me on the phone. So, I mean, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm super excited. I think this is an awesome opportunity. I'm excited to work with all you guys out here. And as we move forward in the program, my vision for these courts is that, you look out there and there are people always playing them. I think we have some of the nicest courts, as you guys all well know, better than I do, in pretty much the whole state. I'm convinced, at least southern Michigan. I mean, the technology is unbelievable. I told some people down in Atlanta that we have these courts that don't crack, and they looked at me and said, "Is that even possible?" I said, "Yeah, you betcha." So I'm just super excited. I'm excited to get to know you girls, and then better get to know you guys. And as we move forward, and Jen and we're very young. We're not much older than a lot of you guys, so we just want to be able to, we're excited to be able to relate to you and just, get to know you better and help you guys get better at tennis. And that's, I can help you with that. Jenna can probably help you with things that are arguably more important. Helping you with kind of, we both went here. We know how it works. We know what the atmosphere is. We know what the kind of people fit in well here, and we're just really excited. It's a cool opportunity, and we want to be really approachable. We want to be really reachable, and so I'll make sure you guys all get my number and all that kind of stuff. I know it's kind of a quick turnaround with Bobby saying he's leaving, and then 10 minutes later you learn that there's somebody else that's going to be coaching. I get that's got to be kind of a roller coaster, and so I understand, but I'm just really excited. I think it's going to be a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to being able to help in any way that I can, to put all my effort to grow in this program and making it better. So thank you guys. I look forward to the opportunity to work with you. Thank you.
So what we envision, I'm going to give him a chance to tell a little bit more about what he's been doing down in Atlanta. I want you to share that, because it's around the clock tennis is what he's doing, is teaching. But structurally, what's that going to look like with Coach Darling and Coach Darling working together? Is, of course, Coach Terry Darling's still going to be the head coach over the men. He's certainly going to be helping with them, and we're going to have more tennis coaches than we know what to do with. Coach Dobbin is still coaching with us as well. He's going to be starting his 20th year, but he will be the head coach of our women's tennis program. And so he is your coach, but he's also your coach. We're going to be sharing. This is such a win-win for everyone. We can't tell you how special and unique we think this situation is. And I couldn't be more excited for David. Well, I guess I could probably be more excited for his dad, but the opportunity, played for his dad at Spring Arbor. I remember flying down to the national tournament down there in Alabama, Gulf Shores area, where we competed well, and watched him grind out that singles victory where he just hung in there and refused to lose and won that match was just absolutely incredible. Now to be able to come back home and to coach alongside his dad at his alma mater with his wife, I think is unbelievable. And I made this comment to Chris Bauman. Who knows, we've got two darlings coaching. If we play this right, we may end up having a third darling coaching with us. And we're not going to put her on the hot seat right now, but who knows, maybe Jenna, maybe she can help us out a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing down in Atlanta, and then just the impact again of the facilities and the Jones family and all those. If you could share about that, would be great.
I started my job in February of 2014, and since then it's been about, it's an average night where I'll get home at 8:30, and my wife can attest to this, mostly in a negative way. We don't get home till late. We work around people's working schedules. I'll have 7 a.m. lessons, and then I had an 8 to 9 p.m. lesson. I get that kind of stuff. It's the 60-hour weeks. It's the tennis around the clock. You kind of live and breathe it, and I've loved it. I mean, it's been an absolute roller coaster. Jake knows, he's been down there. He's worked over in the summers down, and he knows the atmosphere. You see stuff, it's like, I heard when I was here that Grand Rapids is a hotbed and Midland is a hotbed for tennis. That all pales in comparison to the craziness that happens in Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta is the biggest, in the USTA, which is the United States Tennis Association. They have chapters, and Atlanta has the most members out of any chapter. Atlanta has its own thing called ALTA. It's its own entity called ALTA. It's the Atlanta Lawn and Tennis Association. That has more members than its USTA section. That just gives you an idea. It's probably the busiest tennis city in the whole world. For sure in the United States, possibly in the whole world. The club that I work at, we have over 500 active tennis players. So that means that I've worked with juniors, I've worked with men, I've worked with women, I've worked with I had an 89-year-old lady take a lesson from me a couple months ago. Tennis it's kind of what you do. And so I've been doing that for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in about a week. And so, but I've had the opportunity. Most of what I do is I work with ladies, and so I do a lot of teams, a lot of individual lessons. So I'm hoping I'm expecting that and looking forward to that to translate and kind of work with you. I'm going to ask a lot of you guys, but it's going to be fun. I want you guys to have fun. I'm going to have fun. I'm really excited for this. I did have an opportunity to coach. I actually coached a guy in here, Patrick Dorr. He was on I coached at Lumen Christi for one season, and so I do have a season of coaching a team, but it's going to be much different in college, and I'm really excited for that. As far as this facility, I worked at the Jackson Country Club, which before I moved down during high school and college, I worked there for 6 summers. I was the head pro for the last 3, and I got to meet and get to become close with Ron and Marvel Jones. And as all of you know, they were instrumental, and they were a huge donor in this unbelievable facility. And so I want this facility to be used. I want it to be bumping over the summer. I want it to be people here. It's a central feature in campus, and I want people to know that Spring Arbor's tennis program is good, and and people use the courts, and we're running camps, and we're having USTA tournaments, and however we can make it busy and get it to be seen and get people to be excited about it, that's what I want to do to help. And I'm just really excited. I'm excited for this opportunity. I can't thank Ryan enough for his willingness to kind of be courageous and do something that has never been done at Spring Arbor. I'm excited to boss my dad around. I said that before. That's something that I just like, man, this is kind of hard to pass up. But I'm also excited to learn from him. I'm excited to learn from Todd and keep working with Bobby and people who've been doing this for a lot longer than I have, and my dad for a lot longer than I've been alive. And so it's a cool opportunity. I'm excited to just be a part of Spring Arbor. I think we have a very good tennis program. I'm just excited to make it better. I'm excited to improve on it, and I hope you guys are excited. I know you don't know me very well, except for Alyssa does, and Victoria does, but a lot of you guys don't really know me, and so I want to use, even the next little bit here, and then moving forward, you guys just feel free to ask me any questions and just get to know Jen and I a little bit better. And a lot of you guys, I know you guys a little bit better. I've been in touch with some of you guys, and so, but again, same thing for you. Is I'm here as a resource. I'll be, when my dad's in class, I may be available to hit. I may be available to talk and to work on stuff, whatever you want. So, and for you, you guys are, and the girls team, you guys will be my top priority. Whatever you guys need, I'm happy to help. So, thanks, Ryan. Thanks, you guys. And if you have any questions, I don't. You probably won't, but if you have any questions, let me know. And we'll stick around and just kind of mingle. So thank you guys very much.
So what I want you to do is take the opportunity to meet your new coach, and then we just got some refreshments back here, so we just want you to hang around. If you have questions, certainly ask. I know we got to exchange some contact info, but it starts now with Coach Darling, with Coach David. However, we're going to refer to you, Coach.
You might have to Darling. He's been here more.
There you go. Okay, so get on up there and welcome and congratulate him. Would you guys, ladies, hop up there, guys? Let's go.
Did you know?